another perspective on the year of 1987 from a real outlaw. Please welcome Tracy Wright.
Good evening. Oh, how you doing? Oh, hey, where's my microphone? Oh, fucking floor. We're gonna do this without sound. Good. You having a good time so far tonight? Enjoying yourselves? Kind of a small crowd. You probably noticed that. There's a certain psychology that goes along with small crowds. I'm not sure if you're aware of it. People react one of two ways when they walk into a situation like this. Either they look around, they don't see very many other people, and they think, oh shit, we fucked up. Or everybody gets into it. It's kind of like a little private show. Personally, I think you fucked up. That's just my opinion, and I'm trying not to let it roll too far. I should tell you something about myself. Andy mentioned something about smoking, being a smoker myself. I have a few thoughts on the subject. I am personally not going to try to quit smoking myself. I don't want to try to. I have friends that try to quit all the time. I see them like a month later. They go, yeah, man, quit smoking cold turkey. Say, quit smoking entirely? Well, I smoke when I drink. Well, how often do you drink? Well, since I quit smoking. Guy's an Alcoholics Anonymous now. I don't get along with non-smokers very well, man. I was in this place one night, I'm sitting there having a cigarette, and this lady comes over to me, she goes, I hate to see a guy like you smoking, so put my cigarette out in her eye. Now you can listen to me smoke, bitch. I'm rather opinionated on this subject, you know? The worst thing in the world is when you're trying to have a cigarette and somebody sits down next to you and starts eating. Hard to believe how rude some people can be, you know? You look over at him and you go, hey man, I'm smoking here. Get that smell of chicken out of my face, please. They treat us bad now too, man. You go to some airports, you want to smoke, you gotta sit in a glass booth. What am I, a zoo exhibit now? People are bringing their kids over, Tommy, these are the smokers. I try not to scare them, they're already kind of nervous. Shit, you better run. That's pretty much all I do anymore, though. I smoke and I drink, occasional narcotic here and there. You know. No old habits here. Pretty much went through the gamut and decided what I wanted and what I didn't want. A lot of things I quit. I quit doing coke. I don't do this shit anymore. It wasn't a fashion decision, really. I just got tired of spending $100 so I could sit up for 5 hours and regret spending $100, you know? This shit was getting out of hand, man. You know you got a problem with coke when you find yourself saying stuff like, man, if I hadn't bought that last gram, I'd have enough money for another one. First time I ever did this shit was embarrassing. I was at this party. This guy walks up and he hands me half a gram. I didn't know anything about it. What do I do with this shit, man? He goes, put it on the mirror. So I'm in the bathroom, it's going in the sink, and I don't feel anything. I want my $50 back. Oh. A lot of paranoia going on about this stuff now, too. Yeah, I'm sure you're familiar with the commercial, the guy with the egg. This is your brain. He fries the egg. This is your brain on drugs. I'm making a whole lot of headway here, you know. You didn't fry it, it'd still be a fucking egg, basically, you know. If I do drugs, my brain gets tastier. Is that what you're trying to tell me? What if I do mushrooms? Does it become a Western omelet? Is that what happens? I do hash as a side dish. Like a good Saturday night, I wake up Sunday morning, tilt my head, I got breakfast, you know? Pulling fucking bacon out of my ear here. You know what? What's the point? They say that drugs are prying their way into our homes. Drugs never had to pry their way into my home, I'll tell you that. Door was wide fucking open, man. Come on in, man, sit down. Can I get you a drink? Drugs are prying their way into our homes. I'll tell you one thing, I've never been woken up at 8:30 on a Saturday morning by Jehovah's Coke dealer. I can tell you that. I don't know, it's been a strange year. Reagan has pretty much glossed everything over. It's real amazing. He's a very lucky man, Reagan is. I wish my bosses had been that forgiving for all this shit, man. I'll tell you what, if I'd have got caught dealing arms to Iran, I'd have been out of that car wash that fucking quick, buddy. There's no two ways about it. And you hear when what was it, the Tower Commission report first came out? Watched the news that night? I never seen Dan Rather that happy in my life, man. He was like a little kid. You know what else they said? They said this, and they said that. There's this weird thumping sound coming from under the desk, you know? I don't know. An interesting fact that I think relates to the Reagan presidency, I don't know if you saw the Forbes 400 list this year, the Forbes 400 list. An interesting fact about that, the total net worth of the 400 richest people in America is almost exactly the same as the national debt. Coincidence? Did you keep up with the summit at all? Fine. So, don't worry, I'll plow on. I've been doing this for a while. Yeah. I thought they pulled it, they glossed over Reagan real good on that one too. Boy, I thought, man, he's going to look so silly. They did a lot of things, a few interesting things they did. They gave Gorbachev an interpreter that stuttered. That was kind of interesting. Did you see Gorbachev get out of the car and start shaking hands with people in Washington? Yeah. You see the look on George Bush's face? He was all bug-eyed. What the fuck are we doing, man? These are real people, man. We can't do this. I'm scared shitless. Because I thought, man, Reagan's going to look like such a dolt, man. Because Gorbachev's a much more sophisticated man than Reagan. He's much more intelligent than Reagan. I go, man, this is going to be like putting Sean Connery next to Jerry Mathers, for God's sake, you know? God. And Reagan accused the Russians of violating treaties, of all the nerve he had. You know, a couple of Indian tribes would kind of like to get in on that argument, you know? Indians in the crowd. Still trying to find a Democrat to vote for. Futile gesture. I mean, all this shit's my fault, you know. Every time I find a guy to root for, he gets caught jerking off on a bus or something, you know. It's just ridiculous. Somebody tell Bruce Babbitt to sit down, you know. Like an idiot, keeps standing up, you know. Standing up yelling about raising taxes, proving once and for all that Walter Mondale's not quite the biggest dick you've ever seen in your life. Gary Hart asked for his own troubles, I think. He told the press, remember what he said? He said, follow me around, you'd probably be very bored. You know, why? Because you only use a missionary position, asshole? In the Miami Herald the next day, the headline was, flip her over, for God's sake. I think Ginsburg got a bum deal too, man. They nailed him for smoking pot. They should have nailed him for being an idiot. You know? He didn't get a chance to make it that far, you know? Smoking pot, like somehow he's an evil guy, you know? You read his lower court decisions backwards as demonic messages now, you know what? They were thinking about changing the national anthem this year. Did you notice that? They were going to change it. You think we should? Well, the major push is to change it to America the Beautiful. I personally want to see it changed to Give Me Shelter. That's my preference. Just for the next year. You see, the Star Spangled Banner, for one, it's a hard song to sing. For another, it's a warmongering song. Well, there's an old story about Robert Goulet. He once got booed out of a stadium for forgetting the lyrics to the Star Spangled Banner. And he should have got booed out for being Robert Goulet, if you ask me, but that's just my opinion. Also this year, the 200th anniversary of the Constitution, which I am real excited about. I'm very excited. I'm still celebrating that. I remember the Bazooka Joe Constitutional Club. Every month you buy a piece of bubble gum, you get a new amendment. This is search and seizure month, so I'm real excited. I found a copy of the Constitution. I remember it was like December before the 1987 started. I was trying to find a copy of the damn thing. You know, I'm looking all over the place. I was passing through Washington with a friend of mine, and I decided to start looking in bookstores there. You know, and you can't buy a copy of the Constitution in a bookstore in Washington D.C. They sell them in gift shops. Yeah, they print them on the front of barbecue aprons. I got that. I got a pair of Magna Carta salad tongs. My Miranda Decision flatware set, which I'm very proud of. Also, I just finished reading a real good book, too. If you're looking for something good to read, read Benjamin Franklin's autobiography. Very fascinating man. There's not a lot to make a bit out of the book, though, except his philosophy on sex. Benjamin Franklin said you should only have sex for one of two reasons. First off, for reproduction. Secondly, for health reasons. Yeah, right, Ben. Leave a loophole, huh, pal? Yeah. You get the feeling he coined the phrase. No, trust me, it'll help your face. Really? Well, it's been very nice. I got to take off. Thank you.